Listen, I like Lewandowski. I want Lewandowski as a center forward. You think that Agnelli is going to? Oh yeah, we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you, Lewandowski.
Listen,
we're gonna get.
You're not listening to me. Pirlo is gonna make the right demand.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Serie audio experience with IFTV. So much has happened since the last time we spoke over here. And I gotta say, some of Antonio's predictions have come, they seem like they're coming more and more true, as Antonio looks very seriously. Why do you look so serious? You should be happy right now.
Prediction. There is nothing to predict about it. This is what normally the things they should be happening. I mean, you guys are just reading the newspaper. Whatever you hear, you read from your newspaper. You take a bait like a stupid fish.
Well, you make them up? How do you come up
No, I don't make them up.
Where do you get your information?
What?
Yeah,
Where do you get your
I
information?
just have somebody that I don't need to. You don't need to know.
Give us the contact so we can get
No,
more.
you don't need to know.
No?
It all comes from your brain.
It's just there. It's all there.
Because when you sleep,
If you have any brain, that's what you do. You use it.
So let me ask you a question, guys, everybody at the table. If last week when we sat here, last Monday, I told you 1 week from today, we'll be recording a podcast where the topics of discussion will be Juventus being knocked out by Lyon in the Champions League, Sarri being sacked, and Andrea Pirlo, who at the time, probably last week to this day, was announced as the U23 coach, would be the first team coach. What would everyone say to me?
That's
Not surprised for me.
Okay.
Not
I
surprised.
think you're crazy and you
I'm not crazy,
need some
man.
medication.
You're crazy.
What would you say?
Well, I think the Pirlo thing definitely. But if they were to get kicked out of Lyon, I would
The
have
Pirlo
said,
thing would be the craziest.
No.
Yeah,
Lyon
yeah, I
thing
agree with you.
happened.
I agree with you.
And then with Sarri getting
Yeah.
sacked, if they got kicked out with Lyon, definitely.
But all three of those things together, what would you have said to me?
No, I mean the Pirlo. I didn't think that was gonna come true. I mean, there's no way. This guy hasn't coached 1 minute of a game, and now you give him one of the best teams in Europe.
Best team.
One of the best teams.
One
I
of the
said.
best team.
Yeah.
Let's I don't
have a
even know.
problem with
I'll
that?
tell you.
I have absolutely no idea where to start.
Why Agnelli
I'm
picked
so-
up Pirlo? I have a very good argument, and I'll tell you the
Okay,
reasons why.
we'll start with Pirlo being
You
the coach.
came up last week with why did Maradona didn't do well being one of the greatest players. I'll tell you the reasons why. First of all, Maradona coached Argentina. Argentina is not a team per se. It's not a league team.
It's
Wait,
fine. My argument wasn't necessarily on Maradona. It was just to give context. You said that just because Pirlo was a great player, that he could become a great coach. And my argument was that not all great players make great coaches. I just used Maradona because we were
well,
on the
let me
spot
just
and I
tell
thought
you
That's my
about
argument for the
Okay,
sporting
wait,
director with
wait.
Maldini also.
But wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Let me give you the argument about that. Let me tell you why I think you're wrong. First of all, let me give you the example of the players, great players that became great coaches, and I'll tell you the reasons why. Okay? Zidane was a great player in Juventus, was a great player in Real Madrid, even though he did a little apprenticeship. I don't know, being the vice of, I don't know what's...
He was with Ancelotti
With
for a
Ancelotti,
couple of
okay.
years.
And he was with the Castilla.
And
he was
before
with the
that,
Primavera.
he
of,
was with the U team.
Zidane was the DNA of Juventus, and he was the DNA of Real Madrid. So Zidane knew what to plug in and how to plug in at any time. Okay, that's argument number one. Ancelotti was the DNA of AC Milan when he was a player, and he didn't fail even when he was a coach. Capello is another one of them. Was the DNA on the team, and he was the DNA even on the bench. Okay, that's the third one. Guardiola, okay? Guardiola was not a great player, but he's someone that knew the structure of a team. And then when he became the coach of Barcelona, he was one of the few that he was innovating the game for Barcelona. And that's what I call a coach, okay?
Mike, lift his mic up.
That's what I call a
It's too low.
coach. Then I'll tell you.
Lift it all up.
You cannot put Pirlo. Pirlo, it's not any less of the people that I just named to you right now.
Okay.
So, and Pirlo being the DNA of the Juventus and the Italian national team is going to prove everybody wrong over here. Pirlo knows what to do and when to do it, and which player he needs for this team here to step up to the level that he needs to step
And
up.
now what did you say about
Agnelli,
Pirlo?
Pirlo, to me, is a great player.
Yeah.
He's still a great player right now, and I think he's not going to fail as a coach.
What did you say he was going to do with Juventus in the first season during our live stream?
What did I say?
You got to build
I'm
up to it.
asking
No, listen.
I didn't say anything. I think Pirlo is going to do it. Is going to do his job.
Because you didn't
He's
answer the
gonna do
question
much better.
properly.
So
You said that he would win the Champions League in
Yeah.
our live
In
stream.
his
You
first
still stand by that after
yeah,
a couple of days?
I do.
You think Andrea
I
Pirlo is
do,
going to win the
I
Champions
do.
League? Let's just get this. Let's just set the facts straight real quick. Anyone who says that Zidane and Pep Guardiola as examples makes no sense, and that has nothing to do whether Pirlo is going to become a great coach or Pirlo is going to become a failure. Comparing him to Zidane and Guardiola, there's no comparison because they had coaching experience. All we're saying, Pirlo has never coached 8-year-olds before. He's never coached anybody at any level. He only got his license in last September.
So wow.
Of course it matters. No, I'm just saying, you cannot, people that are comparing it to Zidane and Guardiola, Zidane
different
coached
cases.
the Castilla, not very successfully, but he coaches Castilla, and then he assistant coached with Ancelotti for La Decima for them, and Guardiola too. They coached their youth team. Just saying that this is like the most uncharacteristic Juventus move of all time. Juventus is usually known for being planning years ahead. They take pride in having an organization and a structure. And within one day, within a week, they went from announcing a guy as the U23 coach to the head coach. So they clearly had no plan to put Pirlo in charge. And I know some people will say, oh, Sarri, they knew about Sarri sacking for a little while. But it's clearly proven that Pirlo was not in the plans to become the first coach
First
right
of all,
away.
let me ask you something. What do you think they learn when you go to the coaching school to get their license? It's just about a piece of paper. They have the show that they sat down on the class and they listen to the BS of
Yeah,
somebody.
I agree with that.
Telling
I
me
agree with that.
who's going to be teaching Pirlo what is how a play is going to be made.
I don't think the license
That's what I'm
makes a
saying.
difference.
You guys
I
are
don't
saying-
agree with that.
But
Okay.
he's
We're
saying
not
the
talking about
experience also.
license.
Yeah, I don't
His
think the license doesn't really matter.
His license or his experience is playing on the field. He knows the game and he knows what to do. Okay? He doesn't need the experience. Pirlo is somebody that was born with the experience. You don't need to have experience when you're a player of that level.
Yes, but the same way as a player, right? A player that's 18 coming out of Primavera to go play is not going to be the same player. We can just put Pirlo. Pirlo's failures with Inter and then his success with Milan
What
and
failure?
success
That
with
was
Juventus.
Inter failure for Pirlo.
But what I'm trying to
Pirlo
say
didn't
is-
fail. It was Inter that failed
Don't
him.
get stuck up
What
on
I'm
that. He's
trying
making
to
a
say
different
is
point.
that as a young player and when you're 10 years playing, you're going to see the game a lot different. The game is slower for you. You understand. You can read certain things. You don't have to be the young guy running around. You see the ball. You already know the certain movements.
So you're telling me that I'm
What
right
I'm trying
technically.
to what I'm trying
right.
to tell you is a coach, and Pirlo could very well be a top coach because he does know the game and he's played at the high levels and he's been under some great coaches. But is it the right move for Juventus to take a coach that has zero experience? Because coaching and playing are two different things. There's two different things because we're not even just talking about reading the game. We're also talking about in the locker
Psychology,
room,
managing
psychology,
players.
managing players. Listen, there is a difference.
And on top of that, with Pirlo, it's just you're losing. Juventus have been trying to cut their losses. Allegri won the scudetto, didn't win the Champions League. They said, you got to go. We're not seeing the right things. We have Ronaldo for a couple more years. We have to win right away. Who do they go for? They pick Sarri, who's supposed to be the guy that was going to revolutionize, give them this style of football.
What did he do?
It never came. Wins the scudetto, which according to Bonucci is the objective, still gets sacked as the manager. Now, Pirlo, in one of your last years for Ronaldo, it's a very big risk putting Pirlo in charge. And I know people will say, listen, maybe Ronaldo could have had a hand in this, that he wants a guy like how Zidane came in and then they were able to win, whatever. It's just a massive risk and a gamble for a team that's been playing on the fact that they don't have time. Juventus have one of the oldest teams in Europe for the fact that they thought that was going to win them the Champions League. And guess what? They were wrong.
You're the only one complaining over here. I don't see the Juventus tifoseria
Listen,
complaining. Everybody's
hold
happy.
on.
They know what they're getting.
But
Juventus is Agnelli. They know what they have on their hands, and they know what they're getting.
But listen.
You're not offering a job to somebody not knowing that he's going to be able to do the job. The guy is going to do the job. I'm telling you right now.
If you let me finish my full
telling
point,
you right now.
I was actually going to say that I don't think that the Pirlo move is that bad of a move. I'm not as negative
Excellent
as
move.
it is.
Excellent move.
My point being that if the alternative is Pochettino, who to me makes $10 million a year with the 3-year contract, that's $30 million for a guy that's not going to do anything in the future. For me, he's not the long-term plan of Juventus. Or Inzaghi, who for me still is not that good. I think Pirlo is a good low-cost option that gets you at least 1 year as a transition year to try to get somebody like a Zidane or a Klopp or Pep. It gives you that breathing room in that sense. My opinion, though, still, I still think that Sarri being sacked is a scapegoat to the underlying issues at Juventus, being the management as the problem. And nobody from the management to this point has taken any responsibility. And to me, that is the bigger problem. Paratici, Nedved, Agnelli, one of them should have been fired. Obviously, Agnelli's not going to fire himself. Paratici, whoever was in charge of making the decision to get Sarri and to buy all of these players who have cost Juventus so much money and are overpaid and overhyped, is the person that should have been sacked that first day. Sarri is a scapegoat to blame somebody because it's management that's a real issue.
I think you're wrong. I'll tell you the reasons why. You guys believed in the project of Sarri because Sarri for what he did in Napoli, not what he did much in Chelsea, because he didn't do a great job in Chelsea, even though he won the
Don't you
league.
think the person that chooses that should be responsible?
No, because you can choose somebody on the paper, quote unquote, very good, like Sarri, like the Sarri's ball that you guys are putting on the top of the pedestal. Sarri was not capable to reproduce what he did in Naples.
Well, he had 3 years in Naples.
No.
You knew what you were always getting with Sarri. Sarri never made sense for Juventus.
Listen, you are dealing with professional. If you're not capable to make professional running your game, you're not a good coach. Okay?
Sarri never
have
made
the
sense for
tools.
Juventus. We said it in the beginning. He
But
didn't have
he
the
didn't-
he didn't have
he
the
didn't have
steel
the
of Juve.
players.
He's been
Right.
given plenty of time.
Everything that
But-
Sarri
How's that
did
plenty of
was
time?
against
He's
what
given
Juventus
plenty
had
of time.
believed in.
But
So it never
Sarri-
made
Plenty of
sense.
time
But
to
what are you
implement
saying?
Philosophy. You didn't have the right players to
What
do anything.
philosophy? You don't have the right. But what player do you need? They are
The
much better player
midfield.
than Napoli.
They're the
Much
worst
better player than
midfield.
Napoli.
Yeah, look at their midfield. That's where Sarri
Their
runs.
Say-
midfield is one of the best
Okay,
midfield in the
so
world.
hold
What are
on,
you saying?
calm
You're
down a
making
little
stuff up
bit.
now.
So what you're saying is that Sarri was the wrong choice.
Yes.
Okay, so you go back to what he said.
No.
So whoever took the wrong choice, he should have been fired.
No.
Right?
You took it wrong.
What do you mean?
You misunderstood
The
me.
wrong choice is
Sarri
when they
was the
give the
right
wrong
choice for all of
players.
you.
Oh,
but he wa-
no.
He was the wrong-
Nobody here likes
no,
Sarri.
no.
Besides
I don't know.
Ludovico,
You-
besides Ludovico, nobody likes Sarri.
A lot of the Juventus fans did not like Sarri.
Oh.
From
No
the-
Juventus fan really wanted Sarri.
I speak to a lot of Juventus fans, and they did not like Sarri.
But that was after the fact.
Okay.
Before they got
No,
Sarri, they
no,
liked
even
him.
before.
Pep was the
When-
number one
when-
objective.
when-
Why
he
did they take
signed-
such a long time
Exactly, I was
to?
about
Pep
to
was
say.
the number
Why
one
did they,
objective.
to get Sarri? Why did they announce it? Because they were not even sure themselves. Anyway,
He wasn't their first choice.
so there was somebody that made a mistake with Sarri. And somebody, like he said, he should have paid the price. Anyway, but going forward with Pirlo, I mean, Pirlo is a smart guy. He knows what's the good players. I mean, he knows the players that he might need to the midfield, especially being a midfielder. He knows exactly what players he need. What we're saying about the experience is that when you coach, I mean, you coaching Ronaldo. What is it? What is Pirlo going to say to Ronaldo? You know,
He knows.
You know,
This guy. Yeah, what are you gonna tell me?
there are
Coach Ronaldo. You can't coach
there are
Ronaldo.
discipline things that you have to do with the team. So you're not a player anymore. And I know that I read the Pirlo book, and I know all the things that he used to do when he was a player. Okay, that there were a lot of discipline things that he went. So
You can't do that
now,
as a coach. You gotta put
right
your
now,
foot
as a
down, too.
coach,
You're responsible.
you know what the players are doing, but now you got to put your foot down, and there's a certain communication that
You're
you
not
have
their
to
friend.
have with the players. And I'm not sure that
has what it takes.
right now, right away, you'll have that communication with somebody like Higuain, Ronaldo, Buffon.
Higuain won't be there.
You know, Higuain won't be there. Okay, but you
But
know,
in general, yeah. He might be too much of a friend
Gaetano, on
Right.
the
rather
flip
than a
coin,
coach.
Gaetano,
Right.
if you flip the coin, when you flip the coin, listen to this. When you flip the coin,
I think you're going to make a good point here.
Pirlo is
Never mind.
the only one that
Never
knows
mind.
how to communicate because he knows the ball. He knows the shape of the ball.
Not necessarily.
And he can talk to Ronaldo and say, listen, why don't you
No.
do
There
this?
are a lot of great players that don't know how to communicate, and because everything came so easy to them to do, it's very difficult for them to teach. Some, even though at that level is not a lot of the teaching, is a lot of the management of the players and the psychology of the players. So I understand, but a lot of the great players, they were not necessarily
okay,
good
I gotta
coaches.
tell
So
you what's-
I'm hoping that he works out for
Listen,
Juventus
We
because
should add one thing to you.
you know he is. They're paying 3 coaches right now. So
No, Allegri's off.
Allegri's
off.
finished now.
Yeah.
Okay, well they're going to pay to go. So that I'm sure had something to do with
Just
it.
to
too.
add to your, what do you tell Ronaldo? Apparently, according to the rumors, Ronaldo's a big reason why Sarri's not there anymore. Because Ronaldo according to the sources, they say that that he told Juventus management, if this guy Sarri stays, I want out. That he did not like the way that, and a lot of the rumors are that nobody liked the way that Sarri was talking to the players. Besides a few guys in the locker room, a lot of the team was not behind Sarri. They didn't appreciate the way that he tried to make them play. And you do see, I mean, take it for what you will, but on social media, there was nobody that was saying goodbye, Sarri, besides a few guys.
Yeah.
A lot of the big guys did not say anything. When Allegri left, when everybody leaves, usually they're so affectionate. Thank you so much, this and that. Very few.
Well, you could see that there was not that much feeling communication between Sarri and the rest of the players.
But
You know, so and that has also a long way to go. That's exactly what we're talking about. That communication between the coach and the players.
Which is kind of Sarri's thing, is like what we were scared of. We always said, Sarri, it worked really well with more unknown players or players who were not champions already. You could tell them exactly where to go.
Listen,
with a different team. When you have a team that's really won already, do they want to hear you say, you got to be exactly right here, you got to be there?
I have a perfect example for you guys to just say, Antonio, you're always
Mike, you gotta
right,
raise
even
this
when
mic.
you're wrong. I'll tell you the perfect example. Listen to me.
Not
Pirlo, when he used to play on AC Milan, listen
Yeah.
to this. Pirlo, when he used to play on AC Milan, it was almost beyond, it was una mezza punta. Totally. Then Ancelotti came on board.
Oh, okay.
Listen to me,
Yeah.
please.
He's right,
Please,
he's
let
right.
me talk.
Trequartista.
He's right, you're right.
Ancelotti came on board and said to Pirlo, listen, I want you to be
Regista.
regista from the defensive line. You just get the ball and starting to build up the game up front. That became the move. Only Ancelotti communicated with Pirlo, and Pirlo said, I'm on board with that. A champion understands another champion. Now Pirlo could have said, listen, this is not my style of play. So he embraced Ancelotti's idea. It became the winning idea, not of AC Milan, but of the Italian national team. Because Pirlo did excellent on that position. He was one of the best players still right now on the world on that position. And now everybody's trying to emulate Pirlo. Jorginho is one of them, starting to build up the stuff. So what I'm trying to tell you, that Pirlo is not going to go to Ronaldo and tell him, hey, listen, this is what I want you to do. Pirlo is not going to...
It's a good point. It's a very good point. You're right. You're right.
Pirlo is not going to tell Ronaldo what to do. He said, you know what you're doing. Start from your side. Communicate with your friends. You're a freebie. You are just a free-range chicken right here.
I don't think he's going to call him a chicken.
Do wherever you want. I'm not going to tell you.
That's probably
Just
a big reason why
play
Juventus
your
got
game.
Pirlo.
You cannot tell a Pirlo how to play. You cannot tell a Ronaldo how to play. You cannot tell a Cassano how to play. You cannot tell a five or six players. They do not need a coach to tell them how to play because they know it. Okay? Conte cannot tell anybody what to do. Okay? Neither is Mourinho. And that is the reasons why Sarri fell on his job in Chelsea because he got into a big argument with Hazard. Conte fell into Chelsea again because he didn't like the way Costa was playing. And this is the reasons why you cannot coach a champion. You have to just plug him in and say, just play your game, have a good time.
I don't know if he is. The only thing I could tell you is when I saw him at Sky and when he was talking about, he never talked. He never said one word. I don't understand this guy. I mean, he was there. He was getting paid to analyze the game. He was saying, and he was just quiet and there without saying one word. So I'm a little bit. Is he going to have that communication that it's needed, with the players? So I'm a little bit concerned about that. I'm not concerned that he is very, very smart. He was one of the best players. So that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is when the coaches are a certain experience and they know what to say before the game, they know what to say at halftime, and they know what to say after the game, and how to prepare psychologically for the next game. And some of the best coaches, when every word that they say, it's measured and it's exactly, they know exactly what to say. Now, does he know how to read the game? I don't know. They said, this is what they said. I don't know, but talking to people that are professional, that there are some coaches that at halftime, they read the game very well and they can make an adjustment for the second half. And Mourinho was one of those players. He would read the game very well and make an adjustment for the second half in order to have the team. So that's also very important. There were other coaches. They said that Ancelotti at halftime is not as good as other coaches in reading the game. Like I said, I am not at that level, so I'm not sure, but listen to people that have been there and that are professional and they played at the highest level. They say some coaches read the game better than other coaches. So that's what I'm talking about.
That's fair.
No, but I think you said it best, because in the end, it comes down to what happens when the going goes bad. In a sense, if Juventus loses a couple of games in a row,
Exactly.
does Pirlo know how to react, how to respond, to say the right thing to his team?
Big question mark.
And that comes with experience.
Right.
It doesn't. It's not necessarily you're born with it and that's it.
Right.
It comes with experience. And the thing is, more so, for Juventus fans, Juventus wants the Champions League, right? So now you're picking a guy where you don't know what to expect. Wow. You're not getting something that you know already.
proven.
He can lead you there. So it's a lot of unknown. It's a risk. It could turn out to be a great risk. You risk big, high reward. I don't know.
What's your prediction?
There is no risk
What's
for
your
me.
prediction? Do you think Pirlo will become a success? Obviously, this is very early.
100%.
With this Juventus
With this
year
Juventus,
or in
this
his
year.
career?
No,
This year. We'll
This
say
year,
this year.
I think he's gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
And the reason why is also because Juventus team is aging. So unless they make some big moves in the midfield, he said that he wants. We heard Zaniolo, Tonali. You know, Juventus needs to make some moves because Chiellini's a year older, Ronaldo's a year older.
Bonucci.
You know,
They have one of the oldest squads in
you know,
Europe.
Well, they are over 28 years old. The average year is over 28.
What was your answer?
0.5 or something.
No? This year.
Success is what? Winning Champions League? What determines success?
well,
I have a
Scudetto,
question.
That would be theirs, no?
Okay, a year from now, looking back, will we say Pirlo was the right choice for Juventus?
With zero money. Being paid zero.
That doesn't
He's
matter.
not being paid
Doesn't
zero.
matter about
Well,
anything.
whatever.
But Peter, I want everybody at the table.
Okay.
Will
look.
you say 1 year from now, just
Yeah.
1 year from now, will we look back and say Pirlo was the right choice for Juventus?
Given what's on the market right now and what the cost of those quote-unquote coaches that you're quoting, to me is the best
Okay. So
available
yes.
for Juventus that did the best
Will you
thing.
say yes or no, Mike?
I don't think he's going to be the coach to give them what they want. He's going to be a transition.
Pirlo? Sorry, I called you Pirlo.
He's gonna be a
Peter.
success because it's gonna be a transition year, and he's gonna have an average year, and then the next coach that comes in is gonna
Which means that Inter is going to
Which
win
means
next
that he's
year,
not.
right?
Which means that he's not going to be the coach that they really were hoping
Well,
for.
but they don't have that time, that luxury, because Ronaldo, he wants to win. He has to win now. He's not.
Pirlo's going to do well.
He wants to make sure that he has to win something, and he wants to win the Champions League. So a lot depends also on the market.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What they're gonna do on the market, who they're gonna get. Looking back, I think that it was a decision made too quickly.
Yeah. See, and it's funny that last year they took so long to get Sarri,
Right.
and this year they didn't even wait
Right.
24 hours.
I know.
A little bit more of balance. I would say my answer would be I agree with you that the market's going to determine a lot because, again, you see, I think that he can be a good handler if he has a good team around him, that he would be able to manage and get through it, which I don't think is going to happen. So I think that I agree with everybody else would say I don't think that it will be the right.
I'll tell you my argument again, just to
fine.
to
And we'll move on.
counter
Yeah.
your stuff.
Yeah, and then we'll move on.
Pirlo is the type of guy that if he sits in front of the table with Agnelli, he's going to say, hey, Andrea, they have the same name anyway. This is what I want to be successful. Andrea Agnelli, being a smart guy, knowing that this guy knows how he played, the way he portrayed himself inside and outside of the field, whatever he's going to ask, he's going to get within the possibility.
Me.
I'm telling you right now.
What the hell are you talking about?
Bin Sarri on the other side. Listen, let me finish.
Every coach that sits down with the president wants this. When Montella sat down, I'm sure with Rocco, he must have said, "I want this." But are you gonna get it? What do you?
When
He's saying
Conte,
that
no,
Pirlo
I'm
will
giving
demand
you.
more respect.
First of all, he commands a lot more respect.
I think that's what
listen
he's
to me.
trying to say.
Listen to me, please. Listen to me.
Why?
You listen to me, please.
Why?
Conte, when he sat in front of Agnelli, Conte had the pretension to tell him what to do. Pirlo, he's got, I think, the charisma to talk to him and say, hey, by the way, this is what I need.
Allegri is that Ancelotti. Is that
Ancelotti didn't fail with Juventus.
I'm talking about with Napoli. When Ancelotti sat down with De Laurentiis.
We're not talking about De Laurentiis. We're talking about Pirlo and Andrea Agnelli. Don't change.
No. You said when Andrea is going to sit with the president, he's going to present these players all the coaches present their players.
Doesn't
I think,
mean
I think
they
what
don't
he's,
get all
what
it
he's
all
trying to say is
depends
that
on- I'm trying
Pirlo
to
has
say
such
within
a
the reasons-
regard that
We-
he will listen to him.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
that's
What are you
he's
talking
saying.
about? When
Yes.
you get a
They listen
coach,
to all the
Don't look at
coaches.
me. I'm
They will
explaining
listen
it.
to
when
all
you
coaches,
get a
though.
coach,
Yeah, you
the
listen
reason
to
why
them.
you get a coach
Yeah.
is because you believe in
Yeah,
in that
exactly.
coach.
Hey, listen to me. Do you know what the word
and
trust
that coach,
means?
And the coach says, "I want these players."
Never heard it.
Yeah, but we're talking about Ancelotti. We're talking about Guardiola. We're talking about Zidane. We're talking about Allegri. We're talking about Sarri. We're talking about Montella. We're talking about Gianpaolo.
You are changing subject completely. You're
Every
changing
coach
subject.
wants the best players.
Listen, do you know what the word trust means? Trust. Trust. Okay, I'll tell you the reasons
No,
why I'm telling you.
that's not the way it
You're
works.
sitting down in front of a knowledgeable, in front of a dictionary.
That's
an
not the way it
encyclopedia
works,
of
my
soccer,
friend.
And somebody's telling you, listen, this is what I need. I don't think Pirlo is going to have a big demand on Agnelli. He's going to say, hey, listen, I see the game. This is what he's not going to put a big demand like Conte. Conte wants everything. He wants this. He wants everybody. He wants 20 national players to be sitting on the bench.
But if you're going to win, Andrea Agnelli could say, listen, I like Lewandowski. I want Lewandowski as a center forward. You think that Agnelli is going to, oh, yeah, we're going to get you. We're going to get you Lewandowski.
Listen.
We're going to get.
You're not listening to me. Pirlo is going to make the right demand. He's going to know that what he's going to ask, he's going to get it because it's not going to over-ask. He's going to say, this is what I need. Something
He's saying that he can
Okay.
pinpoint the talent.
He does
I guess.
immediately.
Most of the coaches can pinpoint
fine.
talent.
I
That's
want-
why they're
you
coaches.
guys are saying something
on
in
the
two
highest
different ways.
level.
I hope. Hey, what time is
agree
right
with
now?
this.
What time is right
It's
now?
5:38.
I wanted to record this conversation that we have
It's-
right now.
everything's being
All of those
recorded.
guys are all they jumping on the bandwagon. I am the only one that takes
off the
taking this
bandwagon.
position.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
All right.
Fair enough. One point to Antonio's point. They said today Pirlo made calls to the players that are not going to be part of the plans. And I will agree with Antonio in the sense that I do think that Pirlo has a better eye for talent than Sarri does. And first player that's already gone is Matuidi, a guy 3 years too late in getting rid of him, and he was signed 3 years ago. But that guy had no talent and no place for Juventus. And I think that that's one place that Pirlo can be good, is that he'll value midfield, he'll value ball-playing players, and he can identify, they're saying Higuain's not going to have a place, Ramsey, Bernardeschi, a lot of these players who were valued under certain coaches, I think is what he's trying to say, under Pirlo, they won't be, which I do agree with, and I think that would be one
But when
good part.
Sarri came in, Matuidi was there. So if
Yeah,
Sarri,
but he liked Matuidi.
When Sarri came in and said, "Okay, I don't like Matuidi," he has a contract. I mean, he cannot be gone right away. So some players that maybe Sarri didn't like him, he had to deal with it. And so does every coach. Some players are there,
Okay,
and you're going to
it's
have to
fine.
deal
We can
with
move
those
on.
players.
It's fine.
I just want to add something quick. The thing I don't like about this move with Pirlo is Juve is starting from scratch again, and like Marco was saying, Juve is one of the oldest squads. They have a squad apparently to win now. And now if you bring someone as a transitional coach, and he's a shot in the dark, Pirlo, you don't know what you're getting with him. So say he doesn't succeed this year, next year again, they're going to have to go for a coach or hope that a top coach is available. What happens
Don't
if
take the
Klopp's
bait, Anto.
not available? What if Pep's not available?
Well, I think
Then they're gonna
they
have
use
to
a
go
year
for
to plan.
another
I think
Inzaghi.
that's the point of Pirlo though, is that you
You're
don't
just
wait until
hoping-
no.
What?
I think that you take the year to plan. Zidane's out of contract next year. His contract ends with Real
Yeah,
Madrid.
but you're hoping that he'll come.
But it's not
That's the
hoping;
thing,
it's
no?
planning for this year. That's what, instead of hoping on Sarri was more the hope. Pirlo's more the one that you could plan a year and be like, all right, he's probably not going to lead us to that. Who do we go after? So they take a year. Let's just move on from the conversation because we do have to talk about Sarri being sacked. It's a huge topic. Sarri sacked at Juventus.
Deservedly so. He deserved.
That was going to be the next thing I asked. Obviously, the loss to Lyon being the final nail in the coffin. After the match, Sarri even said, they asked Sarri, they said, you think, before the match, after the match, they asked him, they said, do you think you're going to be sacked based off this loss? Sarri said, I think that would say a lot about the directors if they decide to sack me after one game. A little bit of debate whether Sarri was sacked because of the Lyon match, whether he was sacked because of the relationship with players, whether he was sacked by never seeing this Sarri ball that was supposed to be the identity of Juventus. But he does get sacked after 1 year. For me, I like I said, I never thought Sarri was the coach for Juventus. Never made any sense. But I will say that considering all the circumstances, I don't think that it was the most fair in decisions in sacking Sarri. I think that, again, he's used as a scapegoat. He did not you wanted Sarri ball and you wanted this, but you gave him no midfield to play with. So you kind of crippled him. And again, for me, the most important thing would have been for management to get the boot, because they are the ones that have made an aging squad. They are the ones who have overpaid for some of these players, and they're the ones who did not give Sarri all the tools to succeed. That's my point. But again, I never thought Sarri was a man for Juventus, but considering these circumstances, I didn't necessarily think he deserved to be sacked.
Okay, that's a good point.
I would have kept him
I
another
mean,
season.
No, that's a very good point.
I would have kept him another season with new
listen,
midfield.
we saw it from how long it took Juventus to get Sarri. They knew already Allegri was leaving after the last day of the championship last year, and you had Sarri, I think maybe a month and a half later, announced as the Juventus coach. They signed players before the Sarri was there. Ramsey was already signed. So a lot of players were chosen by the directors, not by Sarri himself.
Right.
He never got
And-
Jorginho. He didn't get like a lot of this.
So
That's
that's
the good
one
point.
point. But given that, Sarri, in the same time, you have this team, you have to make it work. Sarri's main objective with this Juventus, and the reason why Juventus got him, even though it was after a certain amount of time, was to see Juventus play an attacking style of football. And that is something that,
Never
in the
happened.
beginning, you say, okay, give him a couple of months, give him 3 months, give him 6 months. And we never actually saw this Juventus team. It was a weird year. There was a stoppage of 2.5, 3 months. But at the same time, you never saw Sarri, Juventus express
imprint on
Sarri's system. So that being said, it showed for me on the outside in, and Juventus are great because nothing ever leaks, very rarely. But for me, the fact that the players did not play in a certain style means that they didn't buy what Sarri was selling. And there was a lot of, maybe not necessarily conflict, but definitely players that were tuning out when he was talking. And we saw, Juventus pretty much, especially the second half of the season, it came down to Dybala or Ronaldo scoring for Juventus to win the game.
The guy, one of which the management was trying to push out the door with
Dybala.
both arms. Dybala was being forced out of Juventus, and he was the MVP of.
So
the
they
team.
didn't give Sarri a fair chance, but Sarri also didn't adapt to what he should have
agree with
adapted to. Even going to the point, and this is complete bullshit as far as, the track suit and not wearing a suit. Doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
But you have to understand the brand, I guess, Juventus as a society, that they want a certain professional stance. You have to look a certain way. So you should have wore jacket cravata.
Yeah,
and
instead
act
of looking like a
and
bum
act
with a
that way.
stupid cigarette
Okay.
shit on his mouth.
But the biggest thing was definitely losing to Lyon.
I agree with Peter. Rarely agree with him, but I want to add something to him.
Yeah.
I think Juventus.
We're all agreeing pretty much.
I think
on what we're
Juventus
saying.
sacked Sarri not because of the Agnelli's decision, where the senators on Juventus. It's Bonucci, it's Chiellini, it's Ronaldo.
Surprisingly, they say Bonucci
it's-
was the only one that was sticking up for Sarri.
I don't know about that.
They said he was the only
I don't
one
know
out of
about
the
that.
big
If
players that stuck up
nobody,
for him.
if nobody thanked him except for Dybala, a couple other people, when the coach was exonerated, that means that a lot of the players into this team here, they want him out. Because if Ronaldo says to you, Agnelli, it's either it's him or me, that was one.
What
There's
are you
a
doing
lot of
that for?
other people that they would, when you don't talk, when you don't say goodbye to somebody, it's like saying, thank God you're the fuck out of here. Okay? So that's an implicit way to say it, even without any words. He said, that is the door. Don't let the door hit you on your ass on your way out. So it says clearly that Juventus players were not behind this Sarri because they were not behind this style of play and they didn't buy into his style of play. So Agnelli had no other choice. I think Agnelli got his hands tied. He had nothing to do. He had to just fire him. Agnelli cannot be chosen as a scapegoat. And Sarri is not a scapegoat. It's all the Juventus team that wants Sarri out. Agnelli is the one that has to make the decision to say, you are fired.
Yes.
End of the
Okay,
story.
fair enough. And you
Agnelli
agree
had
with the
nothing to do
decision?
with that.
You
I do
agree?
agree with the decision.
Okay. Mike?
No, yeah, I agree. There's
You agree with
nothing-
that?
It's pretty
but-
much the same. I don't think we
Yeah.
disagree with what Peter was saying at all. I think for the majority, it was the Lyon game, and probably with the whole, he didn't have the whole locker room. I think
Also,
that was
the
the
goals
biggest-
conceded defensively. We've never seen Juventus defensively as shaky as we saw them this year, and also the blackouts. There was a lot of different factors that led up to it. But
Yeah.
again,
The
it goes
main-
back to my decision, my reasoning of how the hell do you sign the guy like Sarri, where you could have predicted a lot of these things that happen. Either way, I have one thing that I want to read. I was going through why I blame management, and I'm very disappointed to see nobody from management. They like to put the blame on everybody else, where Paratici should be the one that's fired. $7.5 million a year for Higuain, $7 million a year for Ramsey, $7 million a year for Rabiot, $6 million for Khedira, $4 million Bernardeschi, $4 million Danilo, $3.5 million Matuidi, $3.5 million Rugani, $3 million De Sciglio.
Wow.
That's 45.5 million euros on wages, plus 10 million for Rabiot's signing bonus, 56 million spent on wages, and that's not including the beginning of the season where they had Mandzukic on a 6 million salary and Emre Can on a 5 million salary. Both these players had zero place in Sarri's team. Both had falling outs with Sarri, where he did not call them up for Champions League and wanted them out of the team. That is money gone down the drain. And on top of that, this is reported after taxes. Before taxes, that's over 100 million spent on players who do not belong at Juventus. Everyone listed, none of them belonged in the Juventus 11. That is a Paratici or Nedved. I don't care which one of them. One of those guys should have taken the fall on this. And this is 4 years in the making. The only reason why anybody's saying it now is because it's so obvious. Saying it for 15 months that this was going to be a problem, and they've only realized it afterwards. That is why one of them should be fired.
Listen, it's a fighting or not fighting. It's not the point over here. It's understanding where the mistake is and try to, to put a Band-Aid on.
But as a professional at that level, you're supposed to see the mistakes before they happen.
So you're fighting Paratici, who you going to get?
I don't know.
Marotta
I have no idea.
Look what Marotta is doing for Inter. Just another disaster. It's like
I don't think he's making
you do
a
like
disaster
a
at
shrimp.
Inter.
You're jumping from a frying pan and you're going into the fire.
Making? They're doing great.
What I'm saying,
Anyway,
what I'm saying is,
I think that's enough for that.
Yeah,
Anything
yeah.
else you want to
Well,
say?
I mean, for the Higuain, that was done before he was there, so it's kind of like it's a hard contract to offload. But definitely Rabiot, definitely Ramsey, definitely Danilo.
De Sciglio.
These guys,
De
De
Sciglio.
Sciglio, you got them
3
within these
million for
last
De
couple of
Sciglio?
transfer
Are you
markets.
kidding
and
me?
11
they're
million,
not-
11
they're
million
not,
between Mandzukic and Emre Can.
yeah,
Two players
they're not
who,
good.
under your coach, does not like. Sarri did not like the guys.
the best player.
He told Emre Can that he can't play in the team. That's bad management.
Bernardeschi
That's
plays
very
in the
bad
team.
management. We
Yeah,
didn't even talk about the Lyon game yet,
Yeah,
which
right.
Juventus knocked out by Lyon in the Champions League. Another absolute disgrace where the only player on the pitch that played with any heart was Ronaldo. I think it was very clear and obvious to say he's the only one on the team that deserves to be on that team, especially the 11. Again, mimics kind of what happened with Ajax. Even though Ajax was a better team, you lose to 7th place in France.
Yeah, Ligue 1.
Lyon is 7th place in France, and you lost to Lyon in the Champions League. The objective, because Bonucci, you say the scudetto is the objective, but I'd love to see you say that to Ronaldo's face. That the scudetto was the
But
objective.
Marco, one thing is when you see Juventus that they were very unlucky, but they did not deserve to win. They won that 2-1, but it was very scrappy. I mean, if it wasn't for Ronaldo, like you just said, the only player that they had the drive to try to make things happening and change the game for Juventus. Nobody. They were just rotating the ball, easy pass. Nobody went in. Nobody took chances. In Juventus, the DNA of Juventus really disappeared under Sarri. I didn't see this, like Peter said before, I didn't see the attacking style that this Sarri balls command. Where is this Sarri ball?
Balls.
There's no balls. I didn't see it. I
That's
never
not
seen it. I never seen
You
it.
bring that up every
In
single
terms of the
Never
game, what did
seen
everybody
it.
think about the game?
I never see
Just the match, not the...
Lyon didn't wrap the game. Lyon didn't wrap
The
the game.
officiating was weird, but just
Yeah,
in
it was-
general, Juve.
It didn't wrap
I
the
just
game.
feel like Juve, like most of the games, they didn't have what it took. Ronaldo was frustrated; he was the only one moving. They tried forcing Dybala in, but he was playing on an injury, and then he got injured.
Again,
And
bad management from anyone in
yeah.
the staff to put Dybala in.
He hurt himself again by coming in.
They said that Dybala before going in didn't touch a single ball. He didn't touch the ball one time before going inside the
That's a
match.
smart thing to do to call him in.
Yeah,
The
I mean-
fitness in the team is just horrible.
Yeah, well,
so.
that's what I was gonna say. I think so. First off, the game was a referee horror show, but Juventus' approach to the game was terrible. You saw in the beginning where they just looked sluggish a lot of times, especially in the midfield. There was no real movement. You saw a bunch of time Quadrado yelling at this person, that one, and you just thought Lyon was gonna be able to make something happen with Depay. They were very quick, and you can't even really remember any good chances on goal. Everything was either a shot outside or a cross or something like that. It wasn't much. Higuain, at times good, at times just terrible. Like you protect the ball, does everything right, and then he makes that turn to cross the long wall, and he misses his target completely and gives the ball right up. So I mean, just Juventus, at the athletic, ability that they have,
Nothing.
it just wasn't there this game. But you lose it. You have Dybala out, Douglas Costa out.
Mm-hmm.
So you're forced to play a certain player, Bernardeschi.
He probably wouldn't have played Douglas Costa either way.
But
Bernardeschi
you at least have
started,
the option to
off
put
the
him
bench.
in,
Yeah.
and he didn't have that option.
Yeah.
I swear, the only person that you had was Dybala that you say, okay, coming off the bench, he can change the game. And that's not good when you're talking about Champions League. You always need to have a deep bench.
For sure.
So Dybala goes in. I understand your point. Dybala should never go into that game. Dybala shouldn't even be on that bench. Because to be quite fair, if he's not 100%, there's no reason to put him in.
Right.
And Sarri said it. I like what his response was. He
If
said,
I would have put Dybala in, it
exactly.
would
He
be a
says,
problem
if I
for
don't
everybody.
put Dybala, everybody will attack me. Oh, if you don't put him in now, when are you going to put him?
So then
if
sit
I
him on the
put him,
bench. That
they're
was a
going to
good
get
idea.
upset. So don't even put him on the bench. And I don't know if that was forced by someone
he
or
said
just
that. He
Sarri
said
said,
that.
you know what?
That's fair.
I'll keep him there. And
Peter, worst thing
bad.
is, I just challenge any one of you over here to name me 5 players of this Lyon. Except for
Arar,
Rudy Garcia.
Depay.
Except for Rudy Garcia, I don't remember even one of them. So
Well,
what does that tell
Depay
you?
is a very good
All right,
player.
so
And
what does that tell you?
Arar,
What does that
the
tell you?
center midfielder.
They are playing against a mediocre team from a French league that should have been wiped out very easily. Okay, given the caliber of the name recognition and the career of those players into Juventus and how much they're getting paid, they should wipe them all out like nothing. Wipe them all out.
it was
like
over 2
this.
games too. It's not
Yeah,
even
over
one.
2
Like
games.
Over
That's-
2
it
games.
wasn't
So
even
you're
one.
telling me
As bad as Juventus and Saudi were, you can never lose to Lyon. Doesn't matter
there
what
is
you
no
can never lose to Lyon.
excuse.
There's no
There
excuse.
is inexcusable
Yeah.
for what happened.
100% agree.
The most natural thing to do is to sack them and just put under the pressure the management for making this mistake.
There's also something else to point out. I mean, you name so many players there and so much money. And how can it be that he puts in this guy Oliveira at the end of the game,
21
who has
euros.
never played
24.
1 minute, and this guy ends up in a moment where you need help and you need to score another goal. You put this guy who's never, with all the money and all the money that you spend for all those players.
And he's your first backup in Champions League to be knocked out.
Yeah.
That's
To
again
win a game, to go through.
Again, that
That's
goes back to bad management.
that's
Of you
not a
have
good-
Mandzukic, that could have been a guy that
That's
came
not
in.
a good
Who never even
management.
got called up for the Champions
Ridiculous.
League.
Right.
I agree.
is horrible.
I agree with everyone, and I think that yes, there was the referee mistake in the beginning,
Yeah, I don't
which
wanna
was
bring that up,
which was
though.
ridiculous. I do not understand the rules of football anymore.
That was
I just
that was joke
was
official.
no penalty
I,
either.
I
There
throw
were no
it.
penalty.
We throw it all out the window, and I know people will say, yes, you got a makeup call, but the away goal is what technically knocked Juventus
Exactly.
out. So they said, but I do not care if every single call went against Juventus. This was not the referee knocking Juventus out.
was
There
Juventus
are
knocking
games in
Juventus out.
football sometimes where the referee makes the difference. This Juventus only have themselves to blame. If you blame this on the referee, you are once again moving around the real problem.
Exactly. Beating
Because you
around
do
the
not get
bush.
knocked out of the Champions League how many years in a row from every time from a referee?
That's right.
Maybe once or twice. This was solely down to the Juventus players.
Absolutely, Marco. When we saw the penalty again, the 2 penalty, one given to the
Yeah, they were
Lyon
both
and one to
horrible.
Juventus. To the Lyon, there was a better penalty to be given. Not that it was a clean penalty.
I don't think it was a penalty either.
But neither, to a lesser degree, not even the
Regardless,
Juventus penalty was a
they're both-
penalty.
the
The guy
both
takes a
shouldn't
free
be
shot
called.
on the wall. The
Yeah.
guy does like this. It's not extended half. The stuff is next to
Yeah.
him.
That shouldn't
Yeah.
be called.
It's
Both
not
of
a
them
penalty.
shouldn't have been called.
It's not a penalty.
But
And he gets a
regardless,
penalty.
Both of them should have been called
Juventus
penalties.
should have went
But
through
either way,
regardless, no excuses.
you can't. The referee just needs to be mentioned as a side thing. It
Yeah,
cannot
yeah.
be the
Not
focus.
factor.
It was a horror
of this.
story.
We can move on because one thing, now that Pirlo is a coach of Juventus, it's led us to this debate that we've been asking everybody that we talk to. Who do you think are the favorites for next year's scudetto, considering Conte stays at Inter? Which is funny because everybody thought Conte was going to leave Inter, and now Sarri's out and Pirlo's the coach of
That's
Juventus.
another disgrace. That's another disgrace, given the fact of all what we was said the week before about Conte being bad-mouthing the team
What's
and
the
management and
disgrace?
all that. It's a disgrace that Inter is still behind this guy here,
Oh,
Conte.
oh.
What did he do? He turned 180 and he apologized to Zhang. What's his name? Suning, Zhang, whatever.
So the
what happened with
players that Juventus is getting is Arthur, right?
Excellent.
Artur, yeah.
Arthur.
They want Tonali and Zaniolo.
And the guy from no, but the player signed is already Arthur, and the
Arthur.
guy from Parma, right?
Kulusevski.
Kulusevski.
Two excellent players.
Okay, then the objective are who? Milik?
Yes, maybe.
Is Jorginho still?
No, Jorginho's no longer.
He's
He's
no
got
longer.
replaced by Tonali,
Yeah.
Paredes?
which is a much better.
No, I don't think so.
I think it's Zaniolo and the Tonali are the guys in the midfield. that they
Locatelli?
want.
No.
They said maybe,
I don't
yeah.
think- That was.
Yeah, they
You
said
guys
that.
have a very good taste.
Nah, Locatelli's not good taste.
So to answer Marco's question, what
Sorry.
he was saying,
Sorry, yes.
for who
I was saying who would be the favorites for next year's-
season? If everything stays the same, not assuming we don't know any mercato
Listen,
moves,
Yeah,
Juventus-
just-
let him answer.
I'm
Let him
sorry,
answer.
go ahead.
I would think, Pirlo's a shot in the dark. I don't want to bet on Pirlo. He could be a hit, he could be a miss. Conte's a better coach, obviously, and this is going to be his second year with Inter. You have a brand new squad, brand new career. Inter's favorites to win the scudetto for next season. I said it.
Oh, yeah?
I think
Yeah,
Mike's right.
100%.
I think that they have to be. Second year under Conte, Juventus, it's undoubtedly going to be a transition year for Pirlo.
Yep.
That's the one good thing is that he's not going to have too much pressure on him. Yes, you're Juventus.
Still pressure, but maybe
to
not
be
that
honest,
much.
Juventus fans, they're like, every Juventus fan at this point is like, we can lose this Scudetto right now. We don't need to keep focusing on 10 in a row. Where how about we focus on actually building a nice team? Maybe you lose one year, but you could actually build a structure to build on. And I think that's where most Juventus fans are. And maybe that's the strategy with Pirlo.
So, what do you think?
So I think that Inter definitely are favorites with Conte in his second year, plus with what they're looking to spend
spending,
and
yeah.
the quality in their squad. I think that definitely Inter are the favorites to win the next year's Scudetto.
I don't agree with that. I think Juventus is going to go all the way again. Juventus is another type of game. It's another type of organization that's going to let this happen. First of all, second of all, they're going to go all the way out. They're going to take. For me, Juventus needs two center defender because what they have right now.
What?
No, what are you talking
Delete
about?
and Demiral,
It's all
Chiellini.
right. Chiellini,
Yeah,
Chiellini's
yeah.
done. Listen to me. Chiellini's done.
Yeah, yeah.
Bonucci's done. Listen to me.
We have too many
Chiellini's
center
done.
backs. We have
Listen
too
to me.
many center
That's the
backs.
most
Listen
that
to
they
me.
have.
Please. The elite is
We
still,
have too many.
The elite is too young, number one.
What do you mean?
He's
He's the best.
He's also out until November.
Chiellini is finished. De Sciglio is gone.
Demiral's there. He's
Not a
very
center
good.
back.
Demiral, no, but Demiral. What about the other guy that you have
Bonucci.
over there?
Bonucci.
No, about
Rugani.
Rugani
probably
is
not
gone.
He's gonna leave.
He's
He's
probably
gonna
not
leave.
Okay, so Bonucci, what is Bonucci? Bonucci's been proven wrong. He's been the reason, one of the reasons why Juventus got so many
They
goals
don't
this
need
year.
two center backs on.
So
That's the
they
last
do-
thing that we
for
need.
me. For me, I will just put a lot more.
We're just saying who's the pressure on next year? Who's it
press-
on to win?
the pressure is
Who's
more on Inter
favorites?
to win.
That's what we were asking. Sorry, maybe I phrased it wrong.
But
We're saying, considering everything, is the pressure more on Inter because Juventus are going through this transition?
Juventus, I think it might take it again.
But that's not. His favorites to win.
Pirlo, why did I call you? I called you
Inter is
Pirlo
not favored
twice.
to win. To me,
They're not
I called you
favorites.
Pirlo
the
twice.
pressure
even
is
have
on
the
Inter.
hair.
Listen, the pressure
know
is
why I
on
did.
Inter to win, but they're not going to win.
Okay, two different
So,
questions.
did you understand?
Okay. Yes, got
They're
you.
not gonna win.
Peter,
That wasn't the question.
Peter.
I think the pressure's Milan.
We don't have any pressure. We have no
Ibrahimovic-
pressure.
Ibrahimovic
We
is-
never had pressure. What
you said
pressure?
first to third.
No pressure.
Yeah,
we
you
have
did
only
say
blood
that.
pressure. We don't have any
You
pressure.
said fourth disappointing.
No,
if
I mean-
We
fourth.
have no
Listen,
pressure.
it's going to be interesting to see the start. Right now, as things stand,
Yeah, if things stand, what do you think?
I mean, Juventus should still be, but then we don't know what happens.
love
But
it.
definitely
I love
Inter
it.
with Conte second year, the players that we're supposed to get already, Hakimi. There's no more excuses for Inter. They have to go to win the Scudetto, win everything
Champions.
that you're in.
100%.
That's what you have. That's your objectives.
Well
You know,
said.
go as far.
Gaetano?
What?
Champions League too.
No, I mean an objective to you have to go to win.
Yeah, to
You
go.
gotta
You can't get out of the
stage.
group
Yeah,
stage.
you can't
get out of the
get.
group
Yeah,
stage.
you gotta at least
And
go for be a serious threat for Champions League.
No, for the Scudetto, Juventus, I think is still will still be there.
How?
No, but that's a different question. I think Juventus will still be there.
Yeah, to win the Scudetto.
But we're saying, is there more pressure on Inter to win it because Juventus have taken this step
No.
back? You said yes and no like
Anto,
30
what are you
times
saying?
to the same question.
It's not going to win.
This guy says
That's not my That's not my question.
What pressure? They're a bunch of losers. What pressure? Those are a bunch of losers. Conte,
sorry, I'm
look,
sorry
they
for
figured
asking
them all
this
out
question.
already.
I'm very sorry for
Guys,
asking this
don't
question.
ask any
We're
more
gonna move on.
questions.
with
Guys,
this.
Conte, everybody
wait,
figured
wait,
him out
All right.
already.
For next season, who would be favorite? Who would Gazzetta pick to favorites to win it?
Gazzetta.
Who
Like
cares
last
about
year
what
it was
Gazzetta
Juve.
says?
I'm just saying if they had you put a star.
But
who
you
would
asking
win it?
me.
I'm asking you though.
Juve.
Juve?
Yeah.
With a brand new coach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How?
For the scudetto you're talking about.
Yeah, how
Yeah, for
though?
the because they got the players. They will have the players.
Okay,
Doesn't make
let's
sense
move
to
on.
me.
That's fine, but you don't have to agree. Everybody has a different
I
opinion.
wouldn't be
It's
surprised.
perfectly
Listen to
fine.
me.
It's
Hey,
perfectly
Paisa,
fine.
Yeah.
I
But
wouldn't
you-
be surprised if AC Milan does better than Inter.
Okay.
With below
But
zero
you
players.
So you
already
just said the
have
pressure's on.
You
With no
already have
players.
two great midfielders. You already got two great midfielders,
But
and
the
you
team
didn't even
can't coach
start yet.
itself.
Let's move on. Inter just won against Bayer Leverkusen.
Wow.
They're into the semifinal of the Europa League, a competition which they really could win, and it would be awesome to see United, because we know United won, play against Inter in the final. Do you think that this would help Inter? The Europa League needs to be this focal point for them.
The only thing this season for 100%.
Yeah. Well, it's the only thing
Yeah.
you have
The
to,
only
to
thing
play
to
for.
play for, yeah.
So there's no more excuse. Oh, Europa League, you play Thursday and you play Sunday. For
Well,
the-
Conte's already said that there's certain teams that had more time to
Okay.
rest than
Yeah,
them.
but now it's over. Now it's.
No, that's what he's
A-
saying
a-
for this. They-
No,
there's
A
more
lot
time.
of
for this
times in
stuff.
Italy, they always complain about playing Europa League because you play the Thursday game and then you have a Saturday Sunday game for the league, and you can lose the opportunity to play in Champions League. Now there's no more
There's only
excuses that you have
competition.
to worry about
Exactly.
the other league or whatever. There's one competition, one game. You just prepare for each game. I think they have 7 days now to rest for the other for the semifinal. So you have plenty of time now to rest the
they're
energy,
gonna play on semi.
and then also there's still to play tomorrow. And then you have the chance to prepare the game as best as possible. You have 2 more games: semi-final, final.
What happens if you lose? If you don't win the cup?
As far as what?
As far as Conte, the
No, I
philosophy.
think- no, I.
Who you gonna blame? Who you gonna blame?
Oh, there's no one to really blame.
Why not?
Who are you gonna blame?
Well, you
it's
you
a partita
started-
secca. It's
Wait,
one
wait a
game.
moment. So what?
It's one
That's
game.
what
You're-
happened.
Yo, you started the campeonato. You started the season
Okay.
to win everything.
And no, we did not start the season.
Yes, you
to win
did.
everything.
Yes, you
we
did.
started the season to challenge for the scudetto. We came from 1 point, even though it was
1 point.
It's a lie.
Come on, don't disgrace
Because-
yourself. What 1
No.
point?
we came close.
So that's why Inter have to be the 1 point, and now they just lost their
No,
coach.
but I'm saying it's a lie because
Okay,
it
but
really
that's-
is 6 points.
I'm
because
just-
Juventus
I just
lost
said if
five
he wants to say
games.
the
I
1
wanna
point.
get on
Best
that.
defense in Serie A,
Yeah, that's true.
least amount of losses. No, these are. Not,
So
it's
how are you not
what.
favorites?
These
Yeah, I
are
know.
building
That's-
blocks.
How are you not favorites?
These
for
are
that?
That's what
building
I'm
blocks
asking.
to.
But is Conte going to be there?
I'm sure he will.
I think that.
I'm sure he
Okay,
will.
that's actually a fair point. I was saying, considering Conte's there, they would be fair. If Conte leaves, then no.
Yeah, right.
I think- yeah, but
I
I
think
think
everybody
Conte-
was pretty upset
I think
about
he's gonna
Conte.
stay.
I think Conte is going to stay.
Yeah.
I mean, at least the
think he's gonna stay.
president, because he was so far away, he might say, "Listen,
That was a smokescreen. I think it was a smokescreen.
I think he's going.
what is he going to say?
What do you mean?
He's got to say something about Conte because Conte made him. You shouldn't talk like that to the press."
Oh, I meant Conte. It's a smokescreen. That was like a whole dramatic thing from Conte to try to set some kind of, you know.
To set somebody, to just bait
Yeah.
the society. Why don't you fire me so I can just be like Spalletti?
Well, I
and
don't know
collect all of
to
this
fire,
money?
but-
That's what he was trying to do.
Definitely wasn't.
And
I wasn't hinting at that.
Suning, they didn't take the bait. They said, no, you're going to stay. You're getting paid. You do your job.
That's
Let's see
not
what
what
you
you
have.
want.
They still need to meet and figure that out. But as of now, question: Napoli obviously got knocked out from Barcelona. Really disappointing match, I have to be honest with you. Not so much in Napoli getting knocked out, but the manner in which they got knocked out. We did a live stream. We've been doing live streams for all the big matches. We will be doing one on Wednesday, by the way.
Atalanta,
We're going to have
PSG.
Mike LaBelle coming to the studio, so that will be a fun one for PSG Atalanta. But what I was going to say is more so the manner in which, because we were all very frustrated at this table watching that match and not seeing Gattuso read into the signs of the match. Most being, for me, Milik was the biggest one, who he put in the 79th minute, where we were begging for him at halftime because Napoli's entire game was crossing the ball in. And number one, he took Insigne out and then put in Milik, which Insigne was putting in all the beautiful crosses. The first cross that you put in, as you pointed out, Milik scored. He was offsides, but there was finally some life into the team. So to
Lozano
me,
should have been plugged into long time
to me,
before.
it's not a disappointment that Napoli went out to Barcelona, but there really was a chance, especially in that second half, an opportunity where I felt like Napoli could have came back into it, and Gattuso did not do a good match. Your point of reading a game at halftime, great player, but can you read the match? Gattuso did not read the match well at all, in my opinion.
The thing is, the thing that disappointed me with that game is the first leg. Napoli played so good. They held Barcelona. They only gave Barcelona one chance, one slip up, and that's when Barcelona scored. He played so well, and now the second half so disappointing. The defense was a mess. Manolas, Koulibaly,
Jesus
Mario
Christ.
Rui, horrible. They look
Disaster.
like Serie C defenders. And just in general, Barcelona dominated the game. You were hoping that Napoli would score. They had a post early on with Mertens. So you're hoping, an early start would do something.
Mike, it's the first
But
time
just
I heard you say about Manolas as Serie C defender.
What do you
I think
mean?
you got a compliment.
God.
Could even
I
be
was
worse
just-
than
I-
Serie C defender.
I'm saying it as it
What a
is. They didn't
disgrace,
they didn't play good. It wasn't just him. It was
Leave
a lot-
Mike
a lot of
alone.
players.
Alright.
Leave
I
him
gotta think,
alone.
hey, you don't know what he does to me, this guy.
What do I do to you? Oh my god. No, but
What's the guy's last name?
Oh my God.
We were hoping and we were all cheering for Napoli to go through.
Yeah.
Too bad the first goal and that penalty. I mean, that was that was definitely no penalty. I mean, the guy pushed. You could see the guy pushed him. So
That,
they
that was
needed-
no goal, not no
No
penalty.
goal.
It shouldn't have been.
No, there was no goal. Yeah, because the guy pushed him and then he scored with a header.
Yeah.
So there should have been no goal. I mean, they need everything to be perfect. Messi scored a fantastic goal in
How
the
did they
middle.
let them
in the
happen?
middle
He
of-
was on the floor,
Yeah,
though.
the guy had 5 players around him, and from the floor the guy scored. Anyway,
bad.
that you cannot do anything about it because the guy is just he's just unbelievable. But if you don't score the first goal and maybe a little bit the Mertens, he hit the post, you could hope on a tie, 1-1 tie.
But with that defense, you can't do anything.
And then you'll see what happens. But bad game by Koulibaly. I mean, you cannot let
disaster.
Messi steal the ball.
on
No,
Oh, the other one,
the
the
third
other
goal.
one. Oh, the other one.
And he let the he let the penalty. He let
hit him.
steal the ball, and he makes a stupid foul. So you could avoid a couple of goals, maybe just one goal, and then if you're lucky,
You
and
can
then
maybe
you're
squeeze a
hoping
goal. Yeah.
on the overtime or penalties. But
Gattuso.
I didn't go that bad. No, Gattuso, I agree with you. He did not read the
Not
game
good
well.
coaching decisions.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
He
know what he
brought
was
Milik in,
waiting.
he
You can't
scored
wait.
immediately. It was
Milik, the ratio between player time and scoring is very high, and you give him 10 minutes. And in the 10 minutes that you give him, the guy scored a goal. It was inches from being in the offside position. So
And also, you were down 2 goals.
Yeah.
It's not like if you were down 1 goal, I could kind of understand that. I'll be like, all right, you didn't want to risk too much. I still
gotta
think
go all the way
but
in, you're
you
right.
you were down 2 goals. You had nothing. You got to throw the kitchen sink at it. Pete?
No, yeah, I think a lot of players had poor games. I could even see Fabian Ruiz, who's usually a spark, very poor, very sluggish. Mario Rui getting beat left and right. Koulibaly, Manolas have just been a horror show this whole season. And then this game in particular, you have great players in front of you: Messi, Suarez, Griezmann. These are great attackers, but you got to step up to the plate when you're for this important game.
And
And they
last game
didn't
of
do
the
that.
season, too.
And they didn't do that.
Well, at least you lose against Barcelona. You're not losing against
No,
Lyon.
100%,
Okay, it
100%.
doesn't
But
matter.
still,
Yeah.
the game to be played, they didn't have to win. They had to just tie. If they tie, they go through after the 2. Once you're down the 2-1.
By what? 0-0?
2-0.
Oh, 2-2.
No,
Yeah,
2-2.
with 2-2 tie.
Yeah, yeah.
So these are games that you have to be able to read, play.
Calculate.
Gattuso waited and waited and waited till the 70th minute to make a change up top. It's poor. I think you wait too long. You have to be willing to change something. Leon stayed out there way too long. Didn't give much. for the
Mertens
season,
too. He didn't do
you know.
anything. Insigne was
So,
involved.
yeah.
Mertens didn't pop
Insigne
up.
was playing with a slight injury, just to
And he was
give
playing pretty
context.
well.
No, but was Leon the last game?
Yeah.
That's what they're
Probably.
saying.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Please, because it's not a player that should be playing.
If you, okay, this is a crazy question. And I'm going to piss Antonio off. I wonder what Ludovico's answer to this would be.
Sorry to Napoli.
Antonio?
If you're Napoli, would you consider Sarri a return of Sarri?
They're never gonna do that.
No, absolutely not.
Listen,
Whoa,
the
wait.
guy,
Wow,
he
Gaetano.
disrespected De Laurentiis so badly. He goes to dinner with him, trying to talk about his future in the team and what he wanted to do, and then the next thing he turns his back, he goes to Chelsea.
Peter?
Come on, I will never. Not even if listen to me. If Sarri would be paying me to come and coach Napoli for yesterday De Laurentiis are giving you 1 million. Can you please let me coach? I would say get the hell out of here.
Peter?
No, I wouldn't take Saudi now.
If I was Napoli, I would. I think
They had character.
let
in the
bygones
Saudi,
be
but still,
bygones.
I don't know.
We've seen worse returns in history, or people. I don't think it was that disrespectful. It does suck that he went to Juve for 1
Don't you
year.
think that era should end,
It
though?
does suck that he threw everything away for one bad year at Juve. That really hurts his reputation a lot. But either way, I think that Gattuso. I love Gattuso, but I think it would be amazing to have him there. Sadi's being linked with the Roma job actually right now. Fonseca. There's two guys that are linked with the Roma job. They're saying today, Il Messaggero, I think, was saying that Fonseca's up for debate after being knocked out of Europa League. They might sack him under the new ownership, which Roma's under new ownership now. And they're saying Sarri is one idea, Sarri and Paratici, who Paratici was the only one sticking up for Sarri to stay at Juventus, by the way. And Agnelli did not appreciate that, apparently. And they're saying also De Rossi as possible replacement. It seems like everybody wants to get former players. Gattuso at Napoli, Pirlo,
They can
Juventus,
build a World
De
Cup
Rossi,
squad over
Roma.
there.
It will
World
be
Cup
perfect.
squad.
It will be perfect.
Yeah, you're too crazy
Listen
with this,
to me.
Anto.
I'm too crazy. What the hell are you now? How old are you? 22 years old? You haven't seen anything, man. You're just a rookie. Listen to me. Listen to this guy. Listen to me. Listen to me. Again. You guys are a bunch of punks.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Hey, De Rossi, it was none at the Pirlo
What does that have
level.
to do with?
What happened with Seedorf? What happened with Inzaghi? What happened with your boys over there?
De Rossi will sit on the bench having Totti behind him.
They do say Totti would be responsible for the technical
There you
area.
go. Now you're talking, okay? Now all of a sudden, they will say.
I just
if
didn't
De
read the
Rossi
news
sits
yet.
over there.
Cut him off.
Listen to me.
I was about to say it.
If De Rossi sits over there, you get Totti right behind him, okay? So
And
the
then,
two of
and then
them.
you go to Friedkin and you present all the players that you want.
The two of them will be perfect on plugging the right player on the right place. Okay?
So over Sadi?
Absolutely. Sarri's a nobody. He's a zero.
You're in a
Would you
fantasy
sack
land,
would you
Anto.
sack Fonseca for De Rossi?
I think I like Fonseca, but if they have to pick up another coach, don't definitely pick up Sarri. Take De Rossi.
No, I wouldn't.
What's your opinion on this?
Go ahead. We'll have to.
I can tell you sure?
Go ahead.
You finish?
Yeah.
He's gonna jump into one. Just keep talking. He's gonna jump in.
No, but I like Fonseca. I've always said it that I like Fonseca. So now that the club is sold and maybe there's some stability and there's some direction and they know which way they're going to go and what is the objective. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? You want to be in Champions League? Okay, then because a city like Roma deserves to be in Champions League. So now you have the coach. Keep the players, keep Zaniolo, keep Pellegrini, and buy him the players that Fonseca wants, and build the team to go to the Champions League.
Put De Rossi next to Fonseca. I will do that. I will definitely put
That-
De Rossi
very
next to
Oh
Fonseca.
my God! Once you said
it's so much
something
different,
right.
but it's so much different than taking Fonseca away and putting Sarri over
I
there.
thought you said I
Wait
could
a
talk.
moment, wait a moment.
I thought you said I could
I
talk.
told you he was gonna jump in.
It was too long. It was 30 seconds.
Listen, you're not listening. I'm not saying.
You're not listening.
I said to put De Rossi. I like the idea to put De Rossi next to Fonseca.
But not Sarri.
That's Sarri. Who said about Sarri?
That guy was talking about Sarri going
That
to
was 10
Roma.
minutes ago.
Once again, I was just reading the news. I was not saying to get Sadi.
It was a report. I think you said it best. You
I
have
like the
new-
De Rossi. That's a
new
good idea.
ownership.
Finally.
Hopefully things get clearing up over there because they have to get a sporting director. We don't know if Petrarca is coming back or if his battle was again with internally with players or if it was with the
Ownership.
with Pallotta. So you have to figure out that. I think Fonseca deserves to be confirmed for we saw some progress within Roma, even though especially the last game versus Sevilla was complete.
They had a lot of
disgrace.
injuries too, considering
Yeah.
Zaniolo missed many months.
Yeah. So I mean, he definitely deserves another shot.
Yeah, for sure.
De Rossi as a vice assistant
I like
coach
that.
is
But not
great.
as a head coach.
I like that a
I
lot.
wouldn't get him as a head coach right
No,
away.
I mean,
right
I
away.
would put Totti as a technical director.
Yeah, you
Listen,
can bring Totti.
now that Roma sold, how do you say his name?
Friedkin.
Friedkin. Let's go Friedkin.
I just call him Fricko Frack.
Friedkin.
Now that Friedkin is the owner of Roma, I think that this is what all Roma fans needed. They needed to get past this Pallotta era. Thank you, Pallotta, for everything that you tried to do. I feel like he was trying to be ambitious. It did not work out. It was best that they moved on. But Totti did say when he was sacked, if a new owner comes in, if new management comes in, I love Roma and I will be there. He said, I can just not be there with Pallotta there. So now that Pallotta's out, I think Totti returning is definitely a very big idea. And I think that for the Roma management, as long as they're serious, I mean, we don't know the new owners. Obviously, we don't know them. We hope that they're serious. If they are serious, I think one of the best things that you can do is bring in a guy like Totti. Number one, to win over the fans. Number two, to have the history inside the club and show that you want to respect.
He's got very good scouting eyes. Top.
And show that you want to respect the history of Roma. And of course, then De Rossi as a vice, as assistant coach, I think will be great. But I'm very happy for Roma fans. I think that this was the leaf that they needed to turn. And I'm happy that it's not getting dragged on until the next season. We were very scared this should have happened 6 months ago. It didn't happen. It happens now. Around 600 million, 590, 600 million was paid for Roma.
A lot of money.
And hopefully Friedkin can be the one that gets the stadium done too for Roma.
Well, today there was an article, Luigi De Siervo, who's the CEO of Serie A, that said that he is in favor of building new stadiums all over Italy. He says this is the time. The rest of we are behind Europe. Europe is building new stadiums. They have it, and we are falling behind. So hopefully this is the time to do it. Fiorentina wants to do it. Roma wants to do it. There are other clubs.
Milan clubs.
Yeah, Milan wants to build a stadium. So
And the
this
biggest
might
thing
be
is
the right
building,
time.
and the big thing is building the stadium, which the club owns, not the city. So that'll give a lot more funds to
All
the
the
teams
revenue will go
for the
straight to the-
mercato and
to
stuff
the-
like that. That's why teams like England have so much more money, because stuff like that, you get an extra huge fee every year from it. So
Right.
You could also do whatever you want with it too.
Exactly. Yeah,
You're
there's no
making money
rules.
off
anything.
concert.
That's
You're making
true.
money with
That's
the
right.
museum.
Plus, you
And
can just use
also-
the name of a big company
Yeah,
like
sponsorship.
Etihad, and then they
Well,
give you
you
a
do
couple-
Allianz, they got so
Yeah.
much
Yeah,
money
they got
just to
so
put
much.
Allianz.
And then also with new infrastructure, people actually
yeah.
enjoy going to
And
the
they
game.
wanna
You're
go,
gonna
Yeah.
have a
of
good
course.
seat. You're gonna have the ability to
But
watch the game.
not only that, it's good for the Italian economy, because the
Of
Italian
course,
economy is
jobs.
struggling
For
right now. So
Jobs,
construction
business,
it's one of those
money.
engines that brings the economy back into
And then especially
positive
now,
shapes.
it's, now we see over and over again, like the stadiums aren't just a place to watch a game. It becomes a mall.
A
It becomes
shopping
a
center,
hotel.
yeah.
It becomes a place to eat. And stuff like that.
Restaurants.
Restaurant.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
it can be a central hub and a new central hub for a
For
lot of
also
these
like the
different
young
teams.
players like Zaniolo and Pellegrini, I think it's so important for them. If they want to, they really love Rome. They really want to stay. You have to see something getting modernized or going forward. And also for future players that are going to come in, they're going to look and say, listen, this is
Incentives.
what we have to go to. Also, the other club in Rome, Lazio, they're close to signing David Silva from Manchester City, which would be a fantastic signing to an already great midfield. We know he's older, but I think he really gives that key marquee signing to Lazio, who are going to be playing in Champions League, that they need, and that experience that they need. I know a lot of people say, oh, he's old, he's overpaid, this and that. I really value experience.
I like him.
And I think a lot of the players in the Lazio squad do not have that winning experience and being in winning environments very much. So he will help rub off on a lot of those guys like, hey, this is how we do it, or hey, this is what it goes down to. And I think this also shows that Serie A can still attract big names, and not just the biggest teams, even Lazio, who of course, yes, they're doing amazing, but you would never expect David Silva or certain players to come, which I think means that Serie A is becoming a more attractive destination
100%,
for a lot of these talents. Let's wrap up right now. Wednesday, PSG against Atalanta. The match of all matches for PSG. It's rumored, this is not official yet, Verratti and Mbappe might not be playing. More so Verratti not playing than Mbappe. I believe Di Maria is also out suspended, so that's confirmed. But on the flip side, Atalanta, no Ilicic. We know he's dealing with personal things. He will not be there. And no Golini in net for Atalanta. Both Golini is hurt. They will not be playing.
Who's the second goalkeeper?
Sportiello.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Well,
I
Which
saw him.
he's not bad.
Yeah, he has some experience. He played a few games, so I'm
He's a
hoping
first
that
team. He's a first
Yeah,
goalkeeper.
yeah,
He's good,
that
he's
it'll
good.
come
He's a first
true.
goalkeeper.
Go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, would you guys rather have a full squad of both sides or what Marco just read now?
Full squad of both.
Yeah, I think Ilicic brings so
I just want to see it.
much.
I'd rather the real Atalanta
Exactly.
which I'm not making an excuse. I'm just
No,
saying
no,
I would
yeah,
rather
yeah.
I'd rather
if you had
lose
to
on my
pick.
laurels than
Exactly.
I am hoping that Atalanta is mature enough that if Ilicic is not there and Golin is not there,
You
hey,
can step up.
you still step up, play your game, play the way that you know how to play. Don't look back and beat PSG.
Make Italy proud.
Yes.
they're the only team left in Champions League.
That's
Obviously, the odds are stacked against them. Nobody really has PSG losing this match. Everybody has Atalanta now winning. But I think that Atalanta have every single thing in the world to beat PSG. And I think that, honestly, I know that the odds are technically against them, but I don't think it's that crazy. Number one, PSG being the history that it has in Champions League of losing matches, of bottling, if you want to say, not having a history of winning. They're the best top team to be able to play for that. And also because Atalanta is a team, like you said, that does not respect their opponent too much. They play their game no matter who they're playing. When they play Juventus, Inter, Spal, no matter what, they are never content with just being there. They are only content proving the Atalanta way and the Gasperini way. So I think that Atalanta have everything, not putting pressure on them. If they lose, they go with their heads held
high.
very, very high.
That's right.
Very high. But they are playing with house money. And I really think Atalanta can make this upset.
I think that is wrong. The way you analyze it, I think is totally wrong. First of all, I'll tell you something.
What else
Tell you
is new?
something.
What else is new?
Atalanta, because of name recognition, doesn't have the player that PSG has it. But Atalanta has got a better structure. It's got a better. They attack 10 people attacking, 10 people defending.
Did I say they don't have a better system?
Well, you just saying that the odds are against Atalanta.
Technically,
Who said
if you
Who
check
said so?
the
Who
bookies,
said so?
The
The money
pundits.
or the bookies? The bookies are not players. Bookies are people that put money.
all I said is that the
I'm
odds are
telling you,
against
for
them.
me, this is a game that can go either way. I give a 50-50 chance.
Well, technically, any game can go either way, but
No.
there usually is a clear favorite.
All right, who's the favorite
For
between
me, I would take Atalanta.
PSG and Atalanta? Who's the
take
favorite?
Atalanta.
Atalanta's the
Okay,
favorite.
you're totally wrong because because
Oh, I would like
Because
to see after the game.
anyone-
I like to see after the game.
No, but that's not what we're arguing. That's not what we're
anyone
arguing.
that you of course the PSG is the favorite, but that's
For you, not for me. For you, not for me.
but that's the best thing that could happen
Yes,
to
yeah, it's
Atalanta.
good. Exactly.
That PSG is the favorite, so that they have
Pressure.
less pressure. So they're gonna go there and they can play the way they want it.
Exactly.
You know, and
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
So who did you pick to win? Oh, okay.
They're
all
two
right.
different questions.
How about you?
He's
Look at that. So who did you pick up to win?
Atalanta will win the match. But if they lose, it's fine.
So in other words, first of all,
They
they
are
are the underdog.
Yes, they're the
They are,
underdog.
all the cards are stacked against them.
Yes.
I mean, it's
It's
like
true.
a contradiction. It's like you
It's
say
not.
blue, but then you actually mean white.
Because you're just living in the bubble of this table right now. Most people online, on the media, they all think that there's not even a chance for Atalanta to win. It's seen as PSG are the clear favorites. Us that understand Atalanta very well and have watched them,
We give them
we know
credit.
that they can make these upsets. But most people, which is what we're talking about,
Right.
will see this and say PSG are going to win. If you ask us our opinion, maybe it's different. Let Peter answer since you asked Peter for his opinion.
Go ahead.
No,
In general.
as far as favorite, PSG is favorite for the player, for everything that they have. But Atalanta, we've seen time in and time out, they know how to step up their game. Not only they play, they take it to the opposition, they also step up. When it's a big game, they know how to hone what game they have. And so you see when they versus Juventus, versus Milan, versus Inter, they always gave a run for the money. And then even in the Champions League before COVID, with Valencia, they manhandle them. It's a team that knows how to attack. It's a team that knows how to play Gasperini's system. Ilicic is out, but you have Pasalic, you have Muriel on the bench. So there's
Malinowski.
definitely different ways to it. Malinowski
been so
also has
good
been
too,
amazing.
Malinowski.
So
Rocket
you
that
have
many
the
shots.
options. Yes, it sucks. Ilicic out, Golini's out, but you do have guys that can fit into that role. And listen, it's one game, so a lot
Anything
can
can
go. Atalanta, I just hope that they do not get too cocky in the way that they play. It's important to give it to them and to play your style, but also you have to be measured in defense and being able to understand PSG and their ability to counterattack. I know Di Maria's out, Mbappe might be out, but you do have Neymar, you do have, I'm sure, Who else would be there? With
Icardi.
Icardi was
Another
risking
winger.
to be out, but I don't think he's
I
going to
think
be
he's
out
gonna be
now.
good.
I
I
think he's
think-
going to be okay.
They
you
think
have-
Mbappe's making
yeah.
it too.
Maybe he'll
most
put
likely.
a Dybala
I
going
think
and get out.
they should watch their Man City game in the Champions League, the
And
last
pay
Man
attention
City,
to that.
the second half,
Yeah.
on how they played, fearless, but also very, very determined in what they had to
Calculated.
do, and they can definitely
That's a
make
good-
something happen.
I like that perspective, and I do agree with you. That's why I'm kind of on the fence. Like, if PSG would go out and win 3-0, I would not take anything away from Atalanta. I would say it's PSG. They should go out there technically and do all this, but it's going to be a high-scoring game. That's 100% sure, but I agree with you. I want to see them. If they can stay defensively sound, have a perfect match in defense, or as perfect as you could get, I don't doubt that they will not score goals.
The biggest thing is I just hope Atalanta don't change their game for PSG. I don't want, which I haven't seen from them all season. They played their game for each time I've seen them, which is incredible, which is amazing from a team like Atalanta. Gasperini's doing amazing. But I just want to say it's one game. Atalanta really got to give their all. No one expected them last season to finish top 4. No one expected them to get out of the group stage in Champions League. No one expected them to beat Sevilla.
I did.
No one expected them to get Champions
did.
League again this year.
I did.
And now they have one
check the
game
tape,
to
check
beat
the tape.
PSG.
Check the
And I
tape.
think they could do it.
You know who
so
didn't and who
hope they
deserves to be
make us
called
proud.
out? Andrea Agnelli. We said on the live stream.
That's right.
Talked so much last time about how Atalanta do not deserve to be in Champions League based off of history and only doing well for one season. Well, news for Andrea Agnelli, Atalanta are in the round of 16, while Juventus will be watching the round of 16 from their couch.
Maybe on the fishing boat.
Maybe on the fishing boat.
They went the
could be.
furthest than
And guess
any other
what?
Italian team
And
this
that's
season.
also because Atalanta play
phone,
with
you're
a
right.
lot more heart than Juventus have ever played. In one match, Atalanta play with more heart than Juventus have all season. So that's all credit to Atalanta. They're the furthest Italian team in Champions League. A team that shouldn't have even
Whatever
been
happens
there.
against PSG, they're very
Prediction,
progressed.
guys. We're doing our prediction. I want a score and I want a winner right now for Wednesday's match. Peter, I will.
3-2 Atalanta.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We're going in order.
2-1 Atalanta.
4-3 Atalanta.
2-1 Atalanta.
We're all got Atalanta. We can't vote against them.
2-0.
Atalanta?
Yeah.
0?
2-0.
Forza
Guys,
Dea.
I don't care who's right at this table. I just hope one of us is right.
Atalanta, just play your game. We'll be proud
But
of
listen,
you.
listen.
Don't
One
let
thing,
them change
One
your
thing I wanted to
character.
say it. One thing I wanted to say it,
Let's
just
go.
for the sake that Peter brought it into my memory, is the fact that Icardi plays over there. If PSG has to go forward, let be the one Icardi.
Nah.
Be the
Come
one.
on, come on. Don't root
Come
against
on.
it.
No, I'm not.
Why are you
rooting again.
talking
Let it
about
be
this?
Icardi because
You make
I
it
want
seem like
Inter-
Icardi's from
I
body.
want Inter to regret.
You make it seem like Icardi's your
I want
cousin.
Inter,
He brings Inter
listen
in
to
every
me.
conversation
I
we
want
put this
Inter
guy.
to regret.
They
that
don't regret anything. Lukaku's doing
Icardi
amazing.
will be a winner of a Champion League. If listen,
they don't regret
if
at all.
PSG, I just hope they don't go through. But if PSG goes through Atalanta, I definitely gonna root for PSG to win because I want Icardi to raise the cup. That will be a big thing for me.
It's not the
I'm
cup,
gonna
huh?
make a huge poster and I'm gonna go while Peter is sleeping. I'm just gonna paste it into his room with Icardi raising the champion.
That's very nice.
Champions League
Guys, we're
cup.
moving to the audio only. You can respond to him now. Go check it on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Audio only. We're taking questions from Twitter. Peter, anything to say to that?